Okay.
This is Angel Talk with Brenda Hardwick. This is the August 2025 episode. Our topic today is keeping your cool when it's hot everywhere. My guest speaker today is LizAnn Fischer with, okay, I'm going to let you say the name because I just blew through.
Okay, because that's let's just go with the Seraphim Rose Pyramid System
Okay,
instead of that cumbersome website, because I can just give them that later.
okay,
Okay.
okay. LizAnn is a very special person to me. She has been one of my teachers and one of my mentors since I stepped into listening to my angels and hearing what they said and what they say, and actually listening and following through instead of telling them, yeah, whatever, you guys, which is what I did for most of my life. So, this podcast has been in existence since April 2022. I've only been on Spotify for a few months. I mean, not Spotify. Um,
Take three.
I've been, yeah, I've been here on um, YouTube for just a few months. I was on Spotify first, so it was only audio. And you can still find the audio on Spotify. Eventually, someday, I'll learn how to shift it all over so you can get it here on YouTube as well. But here you've got video. Ta-da! All right. Again, our topic is keeping your cool when it's hot everywhere. This has been an extraordinarily hot summer, and it's been hot in more than just one way. It hasn't just been the weather. It hasn't just been here in Portugal. It hasn't been just in the United States. It's everywhere. It has been hot. Conversations have been heated. Discussions have been full of fire. Um, if you watch the news, which I don't do very much of, um, it's been full of heat. So it's hot everywhere. How do you keep your cool? How do you stay focused? How do you keep from feeling overwhelmed all the time? That's a challenge. Your angels can help with that. We all have angels around us. Your angels, your guides, all of the spiritual beings that you work with, even if you don't know they're there for you. Um, Now, if you've listened to me, you know that angels are the ones that choose the topics for these podcasts. I don't. So it's always interesting to me what they come up with and then what they push as far as the conversation points. I don't like to talk politics, so we're not going to do that. But that's been hot. The weather. Do you know anywhere that hasn't hit 100 degrees this summer? I don't. Not where I know people from Denver to here in Portugal, across Europe, the UK, other countries. It's been hot everywhere. What that means is that you have to find a way to stay cool and stay comfortable. And sometimes you have to remember to ask for help to get that done. LizAnn, how about you? Have you noticed that it has been hot everywhere in one form of that word or another?
Well, I think you're right on saying that it has been hot in all kinds of ways all over the globe. And we can put up with the heat. Hopefully you can get shade and you can get water and you can maybe get air conditioning if you have it, so that helps. But all of this has such a toll whether it's from politics to weather, has such a toll on us. And I think that you really need to pay attention to your body in all kinds of ways. And not only, well, obviously, to keep you cool, to keep you physically cool, but also with family members that might be getting a little hot, short-tempered. What do you do with that? If you happen to catch the news, what do you do with that? And the first question that I always ask is, how does it make your body feel, whether it's a temperature or maybe it's somebody's comment to you? How does it make your body feel? Are you tense or are you relaxed? And clearly, we want to aim for relaxation and not, that's probably an overstatement. How about not so stressed about it all? We can go for relaxation, but let's just get out of the hot temperament and hot temperatures first, you know? So, yeah.
And it's a challenge because it really doesn't matter what the people you're around, how you choose those people, the places that you go, what you watch on television, what you listen to, if you listen to radio, what you listen to on social media. Like you said, it's the heat is a part of everything right now. One of the things that I try to stay very aware of is what I'm listening to and how it makes me feel. When I studied integrative nutrition, and I had a teacher who said, everything is food.
Good statement.
Yes. And it doesn't mean that it's just what you eat, what you put in your mouth. It's everything.
Mhm.
It's what you listen to, it's what you watch, it's what you read, it's what you interact, it's the people, it's the things, it's everything is food.
Mhm.
And then what do you do with that? And if it
Eat.
doesn't feel good, what do you do next?
That's a good question. And I think that we're going to give you some tools, at least I'm going to say a few things, but we always, or you may have heard conversations about how we have power and stay in your power. But what in the world does that mean? Especially if you're feeling assaulted by the weather or you're having an argument with your brother. What does it mean? And to me, it means you want to be centered in your body. And we'll talk about grounding, but I'd like you to do a little word shift. Instead of thinking, oh, well, I have to be in my power, think of yourself as someone who has a lot of power to reach other people through your words or through your energy fields, but shift it to that wonderful thing we've got going on with influencers. Okay? Think of yourself as an influencer for positive feelings, for positive energy, sharing it out to the world because you're very strong. You have an impact, whether you think you don't or not. So start thinking of yourself as an influencer of the positive, of the light, of good ideas, of just calm. Because I think you'll find that every time you shift your ideas and your thoughts, everything around you will shift. And that's what we want. So again, check in with your body. How are you feeling? Are you feeling tense? Are you feeling stressed? How can you change that? First step in my book is to understand how important you are, how much influence you have. So influence yourself with positive ideas. If ugly things are coming at you, just kind of essentially flip a switch and say, gosh, it's a beautiful day. I'm really grateful for where I live. Shift it to something positive. Shift it that way in your head.
Oh, that's awesome. That's just awesome. Shift it. I like that. When you shift how you are receiving whatever it is, it makes a difference.
Mm.
That's wonderful, LizAnn. I mean that it created a whole, oh, that's a great idea.
Yes, yes. Um, and I hope that people can try. But oftentimes the question is, okay, fine, I can shift, I can flip a switch by changing my thoughts, and you can do that. But how do you get it to stick, so to speak? How do you get it to stay? And we've also talked a lot about the word grounding. You hear that out there in the world. Well, stay grounded. Well, that's wonderful. I remember when I first heard that, and I'm going, well, I'm standing on the ground. What else do I need? Uh, you know, and what it means is getting your energy, which is all around us and all in you, excuse me, to be centered in your body. Remember, you're checking in with your body. How do you feel? Stressed or not so stressed? And then to hold that, you have to be grounded, because when we're not calm and we're listening to bad news or the weather's got us, we tend to fly off. And then it's harder to do what you want to do. So you want to be grounded in your body, and you want to be attached to that lovely ground under your feet, to Mother Earth. And if I can take a quick minute here, it's pretty simple to do. You've got your attention going everywhere. We'll pull your thoughts and move into your heart. Put your concentration on your heart. And in that simple action, you'll feel yourself coming together. And you want to stay that way. So you can move into your heart, take a couple of deep breaths, and just feel yourself coming into your body, so to speak. And if you want to take it further, you can take that energy and concentration in your heart and just move it down through your body, through the lower chakras, if you're familiar with that. Put that energy out your legs and into your feet, and just see your feet connecting with Mother Earth. You can visualize or imagine little roots coming out and making you stand strong and steady with the earth. If you want more connection, you can take that energy and that cord, put it all the way down into the center of Mother Earth, and you have a good, strong connection. You can even ask for a little piece of Mother Earth's calm to come back up that cord and settle in your heart. And then you're very strong. Try that a few times, just practice, and you'll physically feel a difference. And then you've got positive, steady energy going out in your field and helping others do the same, even though they don't know what's going on. So just
Awesome.
just a little tip there.
Yes. Well, we are all spiritual beings, and being connected to not just your guides and your angels, but we are all connected to each other. It's why
Yes.
one person can walk into a room and change what's going on in the room. And they'll bring their calm with them, or they'll bring their ire. If someone walks into the room and they are angry, upset, and it doesn't matter at what, they will bring that into the space, and it will affect everyone in the space. Everyone has the power to be the person that flips that switch so that it's calmness and peace rather than anger and frustration and fear.
Well, I'm glad you brought up the word fear, actually, because that's what makes us go like this. And that fear stops everything. It's going to stop you. It's going to stop your thinking, your conversation. You're going to want to go sit in a corner and go like this.
Yes.
So there's fear and love, in my opinion. And that fear stops, love expands. It's like the difference in two words. If you're sad, that's all inside. But if you have compassion, that's positive energy that goes out to help with whatever the situation is. So you don't ever want to sit in fear. I mean, that's a big, broad statement. Clearly, you don't want to walk out in front of a truck. You could be fearful of the trucks,
Yes.
but in daily life, don't let what you hear or see or you're told send you into fear. That's when you check in with your body because your body will say, "Oh, that doesn't feel good at all. What else can we do?
Yes.
What else can we do?" So ground, flip that switch. Be a positive influencer. And maybe you want to go deeper. Maybe you want to find out about a situation. Well, I kind of I used to relate it to AM FM on the radio,
Mhm.
but nobody knows what that is anymore.
Yeah.
So let's say Pandora, where you can get a nice selection and you can choose your stations and that's what you get. But if you want to go deeper, you go to Spotify and you can drill down for the works that maybe you haven't heard for a long time. You can be specific. You can choose. You can learn more. And that's what you want to do when you flip that switch. When you flip that switch from fear to positive and to love.
So you mentioned when we first got going here, you spoke of the Seraphim Rose Pyramid. And I know this is a system and it is connected to the Seraphim angels, which are the higher angels.
Absolutely.
Um, there are, for those who don't know, there are 9 choirs of angels, and
Mhm.
that means 9 groups. And there are only a few of them who actually work closely with us in our 3D world. Um, the seraphim are one of those, and they are the higher angels. And the others, the guardians, the archangels, those are the groups that we tend to have most connection with in
Right.
this human living space. Um, Tell us about the tools that are in the Seraphim Rose Pyramid System that will lend to using using them to help with keeping cool when it's hot everywhere.
Well, and I'm glad you brought that up because they can be found in a book which Brenda has on her website, and you can get through mine, but it's called New Earth, New Energy, New You. And it is seraphim. So those high angels, the high frequency are helping us. The rose is the highest of the flowers. Energy we've been talking about. And so this is a personal meditation system that you can use that's suited for the energy that's floating around us today. And answering you specifically, well, there's 12 symbols, there's a master symbol, but they all speak to different aspects of yourself. Whether you're a mother, you're a daughter, you're a father, you're an uncle, you're a boss, you're an employee, we all have these different aspects. And that actually refers to what I was saying when your body feels like it wants to go away. That's one of the parts because it's shattering a bit of you. So the Seraphim Rose meditation system brings all those aspects into your body, into your soul, so that you are within. But one that I used this morning is called the sound chamber. And the sound chamber has many layers, up to 12 or more. And it goes from gold to silver, gold to silver. And this is a positive and a negative. And what it does is balance all the energy around you. And our fields can get ruffled by what's going on. Our fields can get nervous about being on a podcast this morning, which is why I looked into it. And so I activated the sound chamber, and it really leveled out and balanced all the fields around me so that I could be calm inside. So that was a perfect one. And another one is there's one that addresses physical issues. Excuse me, if you've got pain or some illness going on that you can set, and it just runs all the time for as long as you need it. And there's another symbol that brings in the high frequency, the diamond white light that we want for our bodies to increase. So there's many, many things that you can specifically ask for and address, bringing all your many parts together.
Thank you for that. You reminded me of the one for physical pain. I will be using that this evening. Yes.
Good, I'm glad. Yeah.
You know, you as a healer, I know that you have so many tools to use, and you use certain tools for the person that comes to you and you're working with them. There are certain tools that you use for yourself. The Rose Pyramid System is a self-healing tool. And one of the things, but both of my sons are doctors. I almost said one is a doctor. That's old. They're both doctors, but there's a statement that is, physician heal thyself, because as a healer, as a doctor, you are your own worst patient when it comes to trying
That's true.
to take care of yourself.
All
And
that mind going around, yeah.
yeah. And it's just, so I forget. You forget about what you have that you can use. And it's why I keep in contact with all of my other friends and my other healer friends and acquaintances, because it reminds me of, oh yeah, I can use that. Oh yeah, I can do that, because it helps. And being human in this 3D world, this carbon-based body has um, challenges almost on a daily basis with things that you have to deal with. Knowing that, connecting with your angels, asking them for help. I can't tell you how many times I've had my angels or my guides tell me, well, why don't you give LizAnn a call? Or why don't you give so-and-so a call? Or why don't you reach out and ask so-and-so about this? And because they know who I know that has the answers. And that's helpful, because trying to listen to your guardians and the angels, they don't talk to us like we're talking to each other right now. And sometimes it's hard to hear what they say. So when they push me to talk with someone else, I do that.
Well, and thank you for contacting me, but you've also raised a point about how what our expectations might be, what to hear our angels. Um, Sometimes it's not grand, sometimes it's not shouting. I always say, follow that tickle on your cheek. Just, if you get a little insight, if something just comes out of the blue, so to speak. It's not your voice, or maybe it's speaking to your intuition. That is how your guides and your angels can talk to you. They're not going to come with trumpets all the time. They're going to be soft and gentle. And when you learn to follow that, I mean, even as simple as driving down the road, and I'm not sure if I take a left or a right, and I'm still a person not sure, but I hear go right. Well, if you go right, you'll be going where you need to go. That's some guidance from your angels. So just listen to those small, quiet voices and information that comes when you don't expect it.
Yeah.
That's your angels.
Yeah.
Being subtle and being loving and caring
Yes.
are always there.
They're always there.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, is there anything else that you want to add to the discussion, LizAnn? Is there anything that came up that you thought about or you wanted to cover that we haven't?
Well, I don't know so much that we haven't, but I would like to go back to the idea of what we hear a lot in metaphysical circles and maybe out there in the regular world. Well, not that we're not part of the regular world, is stand in your power and are you sovereign? And there's so much impact that the internet has, so much statement of things which we don't know if it's good news or bad news. We don't know if it's good advice or bad advice. This is where I think we need to stand in our sovereignty and in our power. And to put it in simpler terms, be an influence of yourself, be an influencer for yourself. Make that decision. You can listen to somebody all day long and your brain is engaged
Yeah.
and you're talking about it, but move into your heart. What does your heart tell you? How does your heart tell you to behave when you're near a political discussion? What does your heart say to do when the weather is so hot and you know you need to get a job done? What does your heart say? Does it say, okay, wait for a half an hour, the weather's going to break? Give yourself more credit, probably, than what you've been doing. Analyze it till you don't want to anymore, but then move into your heart for that final answer from yourself, your higher self, and from your guards around you. Give yourself credit for being your own free will choice influencer. And then it ripples out to everybody. And you'll be calm. Ask that body, does it make you feel calm or not?
Thank you. That is a very good formula for dealing with all of the heat that surrounds us right now, because you can't shut it off. You can't make it
Right.
go away, but you can decide how you're going to deal with it.
Right.
And you use the tools that you have.
For sure. You don't want to be reactive to all
No.
of these things. You want to take 3 breaths and say, okay,
Yes.
we'll do this a different way. Mhm.
Well, LizAnn, thank you so much for joining me today. And
Thank you.
if you want to get a hold of LizAnn, if you would like to speak with her, or you have interest in the uh, the book
The
that she
Seraphim
wrote about
Rose.
her,
Mhm.
that's the Seraphim Rose Pyramid. Um, well, it's there you go. Well, hold it in front of your face. All right, that's the cover. Okay. Yes.
It
Uh,
was blurring out like the background.
yes.
Yes, yes.
It
And
is.
anyone can email or
If
call.
you can email me at uh the website for the podcast, which is TLON. Um, you can email me at Your Light Brighter. I'm happy to share the information with you of how to get to the website. I will post it in the notes under this podcast so that you can see it and you'll be able to copy it and or click on it and go to the website.
Okay.
I invite you to join me next month. Uh, the podcast, it'll be on the fourth Wednesday. That's when it's available. Next month, September, the topic is Change is Always There. Facing it is the challenge. And my guest speaker is Dana L. Suazo of One Thread Healing. So I
Good.
hope to see you next month. I thank you all for being with me today. And namaste.